Okay, recording this video on Thursday, the 7th of July 2022. It's just gone 4:30 p.m. Chicago time. I do hope you are doing well. So we had a good little day on the E-mini. Not a huge amount of range, but we're going in the right direction, if you're long, hopefully. And going to talk about that on my charts today, and then because we've had some big news out of the UK with the resignation of Boris Johnson as Prime Minister, just going to review the British pound charts, kind of long-term weekly charts, daily charts, and then down to the tick charts, just to see what they are showing. Anyway, so E-mini 15-minute chart first of all. This is the usual setup with the better indicators, looking at a little bit more detail with everything on the left hand side to do with volume. We've got better momentum here, which is a volume based momentum indicator. On the price bars themselves we have better pro-am, which uses the average trade size to identify professional and amateur activity. Professionals in blue, amateurs in yellow. And then on the right hand side we've got better sine wave here below the price bars, which calculates the cyclical turning points in 3 different time frames, and breaks of those support and resistance lines give us trending moves. So big picture on the 15-minute chart, we bottomed here with a nice resistance to support move on the highest time frame there, the thickest lines down here. Open that up. And we had a nice little confluence of patterns with pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame and the lowest time frame showing support there. So we had a triple zone kind of going on. You can see all 3 indicators, SR1, 2 and 3, which is support resistance in the lowest time frame 1, intermediate time frame 2, highest time frame 3, all showing red. So we had a big things happen at triple supports going on there, and we've broken into a nice little uptrend. So we are above resistance on the lowest time frame and on the intermediate time frame. I would suggest this is going to run until we get pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, at least on the way up. I know we've had our cross on the highest time frame, but we've got to kind of line up with a nice kind of trending moves. And today's range, I think it was about 47 points, something like that. It wasn't huge. We had a couple of nice little bumps this week with Wednesday and Thursday, but we've not gone into an explosive kind of ranging move with a blow-off kind of activity for this first leg up. So I think we're still going up. Added to my position yesterday, which was good, and so I'm happy with that. On the 45-minute chart, you can see here we've got an exhaustion buy pattern going on, which was the other day kind of blue professional bars kind of come in at the lows, exhaustion buy kind of getting the move going. This was 4th of July trading, kind of nothing going on there with little amateur bars, kind of low average trade size. We had a little bit of an amateur test down at 3,700, and we bounced from there. And then when you go to this cyclical activity, you can see we are above resistance on this highest time frame here. So this is kind of playing out nicely. What I'm worried about, what I'm curious about is how far this is going to go, because when you start bumping up the time frames, if I show you the daily chart here, if I'm right about this being the turn right down here, and that we're going to go for a test back up into the highs, this is the support that's come in on the highest time frame on a daily chart, and this is going to run pullback to end of trend, so support to resistance on the highest time frame. So this little cross here that we've had, that was been confirmed with the activity over the last several days and weeks, this is, if that's good, we're going to run till this reaches the other side, reaches plus 100 and crosses. So this pullback level ends up being support to resistance that plays itself out. So we'll be testing into these highs at 4,800. I mean, obviously it's going to be backwards and forwards until we kind of get there. But if I'm right about this, that's what the kind of the game plan is longer term. 135-minute chart, yep, we've kind of found our supports here. We've overshot support in the highest time frame, and this has got to run above the support level, which is at 4,057, until we get these lines kind of crossing back up. So it's interesting. We could be looking at targets of 4,500, 4,600, and then eventually going to have a look at 4,800. But anyway, that's a long way off, and as I said, there's going to be kind of ups and downs along the way, but I'm pretty happy that we're kind of in long at the moment, and this is going to play out nicely. Anyway, so British pound. Boris Johnson resigned today. I haven't been under pressure for a long time. I thought I'd show you a couple of charts. First of all, a long-term chart, a weekly chart of the British pound. And this is going back to the financial crisis, 07-08, when it kind of topped out here at $2 to the British pound, which is extraordinary kind of back then. I remember kind of visiting in the UK at that time, and London just seemed unbelievably expensive. Anyway, so it's kind of crashed since there. It's halved in value since reaching kind of almost 210, and it's down at 120 at the moment. But anyways, there's a couple of interesting turning points kind of along the way. We had the Brexit vote. This was the Brexit vote here, where the pound we were at 150, 155, something like that. And then as soon as the Brexit news kind of came out, the pound just got sold down horribly, as people realized what the implications might be. And then it kept on weakening and weakening. We had blue professional bars kind of selling it down on this little push back up to $1.50, and then we came down. And this magenta dotted line here is where Boris Johnson got appointed Prime Minister. And I think he was quite clever. He kind of kept out of the Brexit fray. In the early days, I don't think you could really... He was kind of pro-Brexit, but he wasn't too loud about it. And he kind of let Theresa May basically hang us off on the technicalities of how to implement Brexit. And when he came in, he was kind of a rah-rah kind of guy, had been mayor of London, and was very effusive, ebullient kind of character. And as someone to lead you through the the implementation of Brexit, where you needed someone as a global spokesperson for what they could do in the UK, a low tax environment, kind of high innovation based on the university system, and there was a lot of dynamism in his approach, and that he could kind of talk his way into some enthusiasm for a Britain, a UK, United Kingdom after Brexit. But then unfortunately he got hit by COVID, which was kind of a technical problem, and he was not a technical guy. I always think of him as like a P.T. Barnum character, Barnum and Bailey type guy, who interestingly after his P.T. Barnum's success as a circus ringleader, went into politics. And I always think of Boris Johnson as a similar type of character, just a P.T. Barnum kind of getting everybody kind of excited and going. This was the news of the lockdown, which was based on the Imperial College projections that there'd be hundreds of thousands of deaths unless they did social distancing and lockdown in the UK, and that was the huge hit over a couple of weeks in the British pound, and then we rallied from there. And I think this kind of shows Boris Johnson's career as a Prime Minister. There was some initial enthusiasm for him, and then when the reality of COVID kind of was seen, his kind of suitability as Prime Minister just dove, and then he kind of gradually managed himself out of that problem. And then over the last year, this has been his political career, just down and down and down. So in terms of British pound, what does this leave us with? Well, we've got an exhaustion sell pattern here, no blue professional bars. We'll see how this weekly bar kind of closes, but there's not a lot of professional activity to say, oh good, let's buy the bottom here, Johnson's out, someone more suitable will be appointed, and time to buy the British pound. It's a little bit of a kind of a bottoming pattern here at 120, but no blue professional bars, no professional kind of support down here. And I think unfortunately when leadership spills happen like this in the UK parliamentary system, it does take a couple of months to appoint a new leader. So the UK is going to be a little bit rudderless for the time being. He'll be notionally kind of there, but not really able to do anything for the next couple of months until we get a new Prime Minister in the UK. So if you look at the daily charts of the British pound, so this is the better indicators in a simplified view, but looking at a 460-minute and a daily chart here side by side, There are exactly 3 460-minute bars in a day session of British pound futures. You can see here we've had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence come in, and some blue professional bars over the last week or two. Just a few back here, and potentially we've got a setup for a rally in the pound on the daily chart, but we've got no signals on the lower time frame chart. We'd need to break this level, this trailing stop. If it comes down, if we get another blue professional bar over the next couple of days, that would show that the professionals are interested at 120, kind of picking up the pound, but no signals as yet. On the tick bar charts, as you kind of go down, we've have had signals on the 750-minute tick chart yesterday, and we've had a little bit of a rally since then. You can see we've got exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, but because we've got no blue professional bars down here on the lows, for me that's no good. All this is a technical rally, but because we kind of got exhausted on the downside, we kind of ran out of sellers, if you like, on the downside, and so we're just having a little bit of a short covering rally, a push back up. Last time the professionals were really active on the tip bar charts here on the highest time frame was back here a couple of weeks ago. So any rally back up under this level of 123, if you see blue professional bars kind of coming in here, they're getting ready to sell it down again. So that's not good on the tip bar charts. The euro, interestingly, is not doing any better. This is the daily chart and the 460-minute on the euro, and we just keep on crashing down and down. We had a little bit of a chance to rally back at the beginning of the year. I got into some euro positions here, but none of them kind of worked out. So we had some signals, but we just kept on crashing down. You can see on the daily chart the downtrend has kept on going since, what is that, September of 21. Last time we kind of broke into a downtrend with white bars here kind of going on. So we never developed any kind of uptrend at this point here. We just kept on crashing down. And we're down at 102 with, looking at parity. I'm sure everybody's the big houses are looking at parity on the euro as an area that they'd be interested in pushing it down to and maybe picking it up for a bit of a technical rally. So some blue professional bars on the retrace here. We keep on going down, so the euro's doing no better. And on the tick bar charts here, the last kind of signal we had on the highest time frame just kind of kept us down. We've got exhaustion patterns going on here, but no blue professional bars at these lows, and even none on the 1500 tick bar chart here. So nothing going on there. So the US dollar continues to kind of steamroller the European currency. The euro's weak and the British pound is weak, and I don't think this news today from Boris Johnson is going to turn the British pound around anytime soon. Last chart showing you natural gas. We had a nice signal yesterday. This is kind of lining out, and it kind of popped today from $5.35 up to $6.20 or so. Tip bar charts here, 2700 tip bar chart and the 900 tip bar chart, factor of 3 between these, you can see here. Now this is what I like for a bottom. So blue professional bars at the lows with exhaustion sell and bullish divergence kind of come in, and we crack above the trailing stop on better primes. So we've got our 3 non-correlated indicators. We've got momentum, we've got oversold with the background in red for price, and then the average trade size showing professional activity, and that this final leg down here gets broken. We get a little bit of a test down into those lows, some signals on the highest time frame tip bar chart, some signals on the lowest time frame tip bar chart, and then bang, today's activity, we get a nice little pop in natural gas. So we'll see where that one goes. Anyway, hope your trading is going well.